Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. Preview season for Shadows over Innistrad is downright ridiculous. It is, it's just plain crazy. We've seen Nahiri, Arlen Cord, some ridiculous madness cards, and a ton more. Today, we're about to see a new Olivia, a new Jace Planeswalker card, and a ton more. I have no idea how Wizards is going to keep this preview season going for 2 weeks. They just keep releasing a ridiculous amount of crazy stuff. Let's get right into it. Epiphany at the Drown Yard is X and a blue for an instant. Reveal the top X+1 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Alright, we really need to take this one step at a time. This is not fact or fiction. You choose with fact or fiction. This is also not Steam Augury. Steam Augury was awkward to cast and didn't scale. Is it suboptimal that your opponent gets to choose which pile you keep? Yeah. Is this better than most of these kinds of cards we've seen for a long time? Also, yes. The ability for this card to scale is amazing. Also, even if you send some stuff to the yard, we're talking about a set with Delirium in it and so many graveyard shenanigans, it might as well be a second battlefield. While Epiphany is not fact or fiction, it is much better than most people are giving it credit for, trust me. Jace, Unraveler of Secrets, is 3 of anything and 2 blue for a 5 loyalty planeswalker. You can +1 and scry 1, then draw a card. You can -2 and return target creature to its owner's hand. You can also -8 and get an emblem with. Whenever an opponent casts their first spell each turn, counter that spell. Wow. Okay, I'm going to say something that a lot of players have already started picking up on. This looks a lot like the blue version of Ob Nixilis from Battle for Zendikar. Seriously, it has a very blue draw effect, then a very blue removal effect, and a very blue ultimate emblem. It even starts on the same loyalty and converted mana cost. However, there are significant differences. With Jace, what makes him particularly effective, you can unsummon a creature twice before having to +1 him. That's huge. Can't do that with Obnix. Also, being able to scry before you draw is a huge deal. Letting yourself go 2 cards deep per turn if you can is really nice to have. The problem, 5 is a high cost for something with little direct impact. Now again, returning a creature is powerful and it counts as pseudo-protection, but this isn't a walker you can afford to play if you're even remotely behind on board. Chances are you'll tap out or close to it and you'll need to hope that returning 1 creature is enough. Not saying that Jace is bad, because he definitely isn't. This is probably what a fixed Mind Sculptor looks like, but it's clear that this is going to be one of those walkers that will be sided out against a crazy aggressive strategy that goes wide over going big. Against something like Eldrazi Ramp, this is a much better fit there. I like new Jace. He's a bit generic, but I'm okay with that. Lastly, hey, Commander players, Doubling Season, Jace's new ultimate, Arcane Laboratory. I'm so sorry. I really am. You must be getting fed up with these anti-fun emblems, yeah? Hey, at least it is an Avencer emblem. Be grateful. Rise from the Tides is 6 mana for a sorcery. For each instant or sorcery card in your graveyard, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. It is a sorcery and that's kind of a bummer, but for once a mass creation zombie spell doesn't bring the tokens onto the battlefield tapped. I like that a lot. Now, while you may be drawn to playing this in a zombie deck, yeah, no. This is going straight into Izzet Commander strategies. Anything with Mizzix is just funny, Melik even. Super hilarious. This is a card totally meant for Izzet in Commander, but with the flavor of Grimgrin. I like it a lot. It's a spell spider spawning. It's a neat idea. Breakneck Rider is 1 of anything and 2 red for a 3/3 human scout werewolf. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform it into Neckbreaker, a 4/3 werewolf. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample. Breakneck Rider turns into Neckbreaker. That's just adorable. Wait a second, he kills the horse? Oh, that's sad. Wait, so when he transforms back, the horse comes back too? I mean, I did Innistrad things. Anyways, the card is actually kind of nuts. 3 mana for a 3/3 is okay. Transforming into a 4/3 that gives crazy buffs to your team? Yes, please. This screams Werewolf Tribal. It screams any red aggressive deck at all. Giving everything trample and a power boost? Sign me up. Card's sweet. Olivia, Mobilized for War, is 1 of anything, 1 black and 1 red for a 3/3 legendary creature Vampire Knight with flying. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may discard a card. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, it gains haste until end of turn, and it becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. I mean, wow. Olivia does everything you want an aggressive Rakdos creature to do. She's a 3/3 for 3 with flying, which is great already. She enables madness no problem, and when she enables madness, she gives your creature serious boosts in combat stats. Granting haste and +1/+1 by enabling madness? Come on, it's so dirty. Olivia is going to be in an aggressive red-black aggro shell in standard. She has to be. Want to leave standard? Any Marchesa commander players out there? Yeah, I thought so. Enjoy your new staple. It's insanity. Sigarda, Heron's Graces, 3 of anything, 1 green and 1 white for a 4/5 legendary creature angel with flying. You and humans you control have hexproof. You can also pay 2 of anything and exile a card from your graveyard to put a 1/1 white human soldier token onto the battlefield. I know a lot of you are automatically going to be upset because new Sigarda doesn't have hexproof herself. I get it, I do, but come on, this is so in flavor for the story. She's trying to protect the humans, so she gives them her hexproof. How cool is that? And you get hexproof, it's amazing. Protects you from any discard effects, sacrifice effects. Sigarda herself survives well over 50% of the decent removal in standard, and that last ability is relatively affordable. Not that human tribal is all that great, but if it gets better, you can bet that Sigarda will be at the helm, at least as a 1 or 2 of. Look, I'm not saying she's anywhere near as good as her original card, but she is not as bad as some people are saying. I will say, Tristani, Rafik even, create green-white human tribal and commander, just bring over half the Darien deck and you're good. There are places for her. It looks like that's going to do it for today's spoilers. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like new Jace? What about Olivia? Sigarda? I need to know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Personally, I like Jace. He's all the blue all the time. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Shadows over Innistrad spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. Nahiri the Harbinger is already pre-ordering on TCG Player for as low as $19 each. If you think she's going to stay where she is price-wise, you better get your hands on the card now. Not a Nahiri fan? Unacceptable, but I'll roll with it. Olivia being spoiled means that players are really working on an aggressive red-black deck. You know what would go good in that? Drana, Liberator of Malakir. You can still find copies of her for $9 each. That seems completely reasonable. Get Drana, get Olivia, vampire aggro for days.
Wow.